But first tonight, it's the final countdown for the government on the Lokpal bill. First, the UPA allies will be meeting tomorrow, and then there's an all-party meeting scheduled for Wednesday. The bill will then be debated in Parliament. But ahead of that, NDTV has learned that the government plans to make several proposals at the all-party meeting on Wednesday. One of them would be a very important compromise on the issue of the CBI, which has become the main sticking point between the centre and Timan. Now, my colleague Sunil Prabhu now joins us for more on that story. Sunil.
Well, Nidhi, there are many points which are really sticking issues, and what the government is attempting to do is build consensus, just unlike what they did in terms of the FDI and retail. This time round, they're speaking to UPA partners, and then, of course, build that broad consensus after getting the UPA allies on board to have that all-party meeting, which the Prime Minister will convene before he leaves for Russia, and where he's offering that he's ready to come under the Lokpal, under safeguards. He's also saying that the lower bureaucracy will be brought under the Lokpal. He's also agreeing to the fact that the CBI will be brought in terms of under the purview of the Lokpal for corruption cases. And then, of course, the other issues of Lokayata under the state. It will be a constitutional amendment. These are some of the broad features that have been promised. A draft cabinet note has already begun its preparations in the Department of Personnel. And of course, it will require a final consultation with the Prime Minister's office before it's sent for legal vetting as well as the legislative drafting. And then, of course, it will be ready to be brought to Cabinet. And what they are saying is, in all likelihood, as soon as he returns, if possible on Sunday, the 18th, or on the 19th, Monday, the Cabinet will meet and will be prepared to introduce it in Parliament by latest the 20th. So that both houses discuss the entire issue. So clearly, the government is offering a plethora of concessions, as they say, so as to keep in concerns of the mood of the nation and various other aspects, as was promised in both houses of Parliament in August last year.
All right, Sunil, thanks very much for that important news update. But just ahead of that all-party meeting in a couple of days, the war of words between the government and the opposition has intensified. UPA ministers today attacked the BJP and the left for attending Anna's rally at Jantar Mantar on Sunday and taking part in the public debate on the Lokpal bill. They say Parliament is sovereign. Ambika Soni accused the BJP of double standards today. The BJP shot back that we don't need your advice.
Whatever they had to say, and they have to still say it when the bill is presented. They want change in it. That cannot be made on that stage. That can only be done in the Parliament. Let us not lower the prestige of Parliament. That is one thing I request every Parliament member, that the respect of Parliament has to be maintained.
सियासी सूरमाओं का पसीना छूट जाता है.
हमें कांग्रेस और फारूक अब्दुल्ला ऐसे सहयोगियों से संसद की गरिमा के बारे में कोई नसीहत लेने की आवश्यकता नहीं है. हम सभी जानते हैं संसद में ही कानून पास होगा, लेकिन एक प्रभावी लोकपाल बने और सरकार इससे भागेगी तो हम उसे छोड़ने वाले नहीं हैं.
वो चर्चा बाहर करें और हमें कहें कि आप कुछ मत बोलो क्योंकि पार्लियामेंट ऑन है, सिर्फ पार्लियामेंट के अंदर बोल सकते हैं. ये डबल स्टैंडर्ड चलते नहीं है. मैं समझती हूँ कि जो पारित करना है, हम सब बहुत शक्तिशाली विधेयक चाहते हैं लोकपाल का, वायदे भी कर चुके हैं, तो ये पार्लियामेंट में डिस्कस करेंगे तो अच्छा बेहतर होगा, बजाय बाहर लोगों को उकसाने के.
बहस का जगह संसद है, सड़क नहीं. सड़क पर आंदोलन किया जाता है, लेकिन घोर आपत्तिजनक शब्द का उन्होंने इस्तेमाल किया अन्ना जी ने, विद ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट उनके बुजुर्गियत का, कि 180 गुंडा संसद में बैठा हुआ है. 180 गुंडा, उन्होंने कहा कि गुंडे बैठे हैं. ये तो संसद का अपमान है. ये सबको उनको वापस लेना चाहिए.
And that brings us to our first debate tonight. As Anna returns, are opposition parties Anna's Team B? That's what we're asking. You can see two prominent politicians flanking Anna on either side at Jantar Mantar yesterday. But first tonight, I'm going to go across to Abhishek Manu Singhvi, the chairman of Parliament Standing Committee on the Lokpal bill. Dr. Singhvi, you have a difficult job. You're both the spokesperson of the Congress as well as chairman of the Standing Committee. Let me first ask you, as you wear your hat as the Standing Committee chairman, Arvind Kejriwal yesterday, publicly claimed that there were as many as 16 to 17 dissenting notes in the Standing Committee, and therefore a majority of members of the Standing Committee, and there are 30 of them, did not agree with various clauses of your report. What would you say to that? What's the factual picture here?
Nidhi, that's an extremely important issue you've raised, and you must give at least a minute to understand this. It is very wrong to mislead the nation on dissent notes. Let's just stick to facts, and there are some areas at least where politics need not come in, and facts are sacred. Number one, in a standing committee, if you do not send in a note of dissent, it is obvious for 20, 30 years, ever since standing committees have been functioning, that you are agreeing with the report, whether you are present on the meeting when it's adopted or not, whether you are present otherwise or not. So dissent has to be expressed affirmatively. Two, there are 13 issues on which there is no dissent, zero dissent. I'm giving you approximately, could be 12, could be 13. That is 100% unanimity of a 30-member committee. Number three, on the 11 issues on which there is dissent, on 3 issues, the figure is 29 yes, 1 person no. That's overwhelming consensus on 3 issues where there is a dissent. On 7 other issues where there is a dissent, the consensus is 23 yes, 7 no. That means 23 people are still in favor of what the report says. That makes 10 issues out of 11 on which the maximum dissent is 7 out of 30. On one issue, that is the lower bureaucracy, the majority is 17 and the non-majority, the dissenters, are 13. There even there is a clear majority, but yes, it's a narrow majority. Now these are just facts. I'm not giving any value judgment. It means that those who did not agree, remember, under the rules, a report reflects only the broad consensus of the committee. It then just files a dissent note. So by definition, whatever is in the report is that to which there is no specific dissent note.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone, fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. NDTV.com/apps.